Welcome to Cross Transformation. It's Mariam here, and in today's video, I would like to talk about how to respond to a crisis instead of reacting to it. Every one of us comes with a template, a life template, and inside this template, we have got our own version of the reality, the stories that we have been telling ourselves about the world, about other people, the stories that we have been telling other people about who we are. When the stories inside the template are of anxiety, depression, guilt, shame, and despair, we are creating a baggage narrative. The baggage narrative that we keep bringing forward and taking it to the next reality, next chapter, next season of our life becomes the pain identity. And every time there is a crisis, we are going to go back to the life template to get ourselves through a crisis. And guess what? When the narrative is the baggage narrative, when the life template is of anxiety, depression, guilt, and shame, we find ourselves struggling with a crisis. So it's important to know that the life template equals our response to a crisis or our reaction to a crisis. The first step to change reaction and create a response is to renew our mind, to transform ourselves. When the life template is of those lower emotions, the baggage narrative, and the pain identity, we have conformed to this world. But as we decide to renew our mind, we have changed the life template. So how do we do this? The first step is to labor, to enter into God's peace, which means to sit with those lower emotions as they show up, not to avoid them, not to block them, but to sit with them and allow them to come to the surface. Now, we are not dealing with a thought. What we are dealing with is the actual emotion that comes to the surface. As we sit with these emotions, then we are entering into God's peace. By entering into God's peace, we are becoming the confident hope. And from hope, it's easy to believe, it's easy to practice knowing. And as we shift our emotions from anger to hope, we begin the process of transformation, renewing the mind. Philippians 4 teaches us not to be anxious, which means not to react, but in all situations, by prayers and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. So as we arrive at confident hope, as we labor to enter God's peace, we now can present our requests to God. So whatever that prayer is, because now we are in the state of transformation, we are no longer conforming to this world, but stepping into appreciation, gratitude, fulfillment. And in this space, the quality of thoughts that we are receiving are going to be different because they're coming from the Holy Spirit, from the kingdom. And inside the kingdom, there is love, unconditional love. There is appreciation. So as we go through a crisis, if we labor ourselves to enter into God's peace and to start seeing the crisis as an opportunity for personal growth as an opportunity to find satisfaction, to find fulfillment. We can have a breakthrough. We can find ourselves not identified by the pain identity, but identified with our Christ identity. And that is all that it takes. Every time that I encountered a crisis, I found myself capable by walking into God's presence, by walking into God's peace. And from there, I had solution, because I was no longer the despair that I was practicing. I was no longer the depression. I was no longer the anxiety. I was the confident hope, stepping into believing in God's superpower, believing that there is a solution, there is a way, and with God, all things are possible. Do not react, but labor to enter into God's peace. Arrive at confident hope. Allow yourself to reach the state of knowing. And in that knowing, the thoughts will be of appreciation. The thoughts will be, you are empowered. The thoughts be, this shall pass too. Thank you for watching Cross Transformation, and God bless you.